gotta focus on yourself, on your faith, on your dreams, on your mind, on your health, yeah. You gotta work, never tell, keep your head down, find what you love and excel, yeah.
Wait, is this thing really secure? I honestly thought it would fall off, but after testing it, the results surprised me. And trust me, the camera comparison gets even more interesting. Hey everyone! Smartphone brands are going all in on telephoto photography. Vivo, OPPO, and Honor have all launched their own teleconverter accessories. Today, we finally have all three. So which one actually works best? And is any of them worth your money? Let's find out. Big thanks to my tech partner over in China for providing this footage. I really appreciate the support in making this video happen. Hey everyone, Stella here from techiestreet. If you're into staying updated with the newest gadgets, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our latest tech content. First, let's check the controllers. Vivo uses a clip-on design with a direct Type-C connection, and it instantly feels the most solid. Honor and OPPO use detachable designs. I was worried they might feel loose, but both are surprisingly secure. Still, since they're separate attachments, they can occasionally feel slightly tilted. OPPO's setup is split into 3 pieces, with the top controller detached from the rest. It works fine, but having an extra part also means one more thing you could accidentally lose. For comfort, Honor easily takes the lead. Its larger grip feels great during shooting. OPPO is the least comfortable, while Vivo lands somewhere in the middle. When it comes to controls, I personally prefer Honor's rear dial, but for button feel and responsiveness, Vivo clearly delivers the best experience. Honor and Vivo both use 2.35x teleconverters, giving you 200, 400, 800, and even 1600 mm focal lengths. OPPO instead offers 10x, 20x, and 40x zoom. For this comparison, we'll keep the zoom levels as close as possible. The camera software tells an interesting story too. Vivo offers far more shooting modes like portrait, landscape, and snapshot. Honor and OPPO mainly stick to photo, video, and stage modes. Since Vivo entered the teleconverter game first, its software is simply more mature. Now, let's see what really matters, the camera samples. At around 200 millimeters, all 3 phones look excellent, with only tiny differences. Sure, modern phones can shoot great at this range, but the teleconverter adds a much shallower background blur, making photos, and especially videos, look far more like they came from a real camera. At 400 millimeters, OPPO and Honor produce brighter, better exposed flower shots. Vivo is slightly darker, but zoom into the details, and OPPO plus Vivo capture the best textures, while Honor loses a little fine detail. Now, for the 800mm cup test, where things get really interesting. Honor looks the sharpest at first, but that's mostly aggressive AI sharpening. OPPO delivers a more balanced result. Vivo struggles with background separation, blending parts of the cup into the background. OPPO shows a similar issue, though it's less noticeable. Honor avoids this problem the best. Finally, the 800mm doll shots. Honor once again gives the nicest brightness and exposure. Vivo remains a bit dark, while OPPO boosts color saturation too much, making the image look less natural. At 1600 millimeters, the story stays almost the same. OPPO and Vivo capture the best fine details, while Honor trails slightly behind. But there's one hidden problem you shouldn't ignore. When shooting text, both OPPO and Vivo often create a noticeable oil painting effect. Honor isn't perfect either, but it's much less obvious. Looking at image quality alone, you'd probably think OPPO wins, but surprisingly, if I had to eliminate one first, it'd be OPPO without a second thought. Why? Because OPPO's biggest flaw is reliability. What you see in the viewfinder isn't what you actually capture, and this happens far too often. For bird photography, concerts, or any fast-moving scene, that's a huge problem. One mismatch can cost you the perfect shot. Vivo has its own issue. At 800mm and 1600mm, framing becomes tricky. The preview looks stable, but it reacts slightly behind your hand movements. That small delay makes precise composition much harder. Honor avoids both of those problems. The viewfinder starts shaking before you're fully framed, but the response is quick and natural, making it easier to control. The only downside is a slight delay after pressing the shutter button. So after using all three, my overall ranking is simple. Vivo takes first place, while OPPO finishes last. I'll be honest, I was never a fan of teleconverters. They always felt bulky, expensive, and not very practical. But after testing these, my opinion has changed. Between 200 and 800 millimeters, the photos genuinely look much more like they came from a dedicated camera. And for situations like concerts, these accessories can be incredibly useful. Still, I think teleconverters will stay a niche accessory, perfect for people who really need extra reach, rather than something every smartphone user will buy. At the same time, I hope brands don't depend too much on external accessories. I'd still rather see companies keep improving the built-in telephoto cameras inside smartphones. But that's just my take. What do you think? Are smartphone teleconverters the future of mobile photography, or just a tool for specific situations? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this comparison, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!